if I was in that scenario, I feel like I would have, like, it wouldn't have taken me that long to figure it out.
Yeah, you, right?
Yeah.
But you got to get into the head of women.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out, man, what do women really want? Welcome back to the No Script Pod. We're your hosts, Zach and Joel. Thank you to everyone watching. You can find our audio episodes linked in the description, and you can find our YouTube by searching the No Script Pod on YouTube. The movie we're reviewing today is Eternity.
Yes.
Initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts, well, it was really fun. It was a super fun movie. It poses a really good hypothetical question, probably like the best hypothetical question you could think of is the afterlife. Everybody, I mean, that's like the number one question. I mean, that's what religion is, created for, but
I get you.
yeah, so I really like the movie. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like the greatest movie of all time, but it's probably the most fun I've had thinking about a movie and thinking about talking about it on this podcast.
I'd agree. I'd say it was a very fun movie. I think this movie is everything I look for in a film.
Same.
I
agree.
What I look for in a story, because I say all the time, you don't write a story about a cat going to his bed.
Right.
You write a story about a cat going to his bed and a dog is already there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So,
like, you have to create the conflict.
Yeah.
There has to be conflict.
The story, the concept is already interesting enough.
Yes.
And then you add the dilemma on top.
Right.
Of her having to choose her eternity.
Right. Choose between two
her
people.
Her first husband or her last husband.
And I thought throughout it, to be honest, I was thinking, especially whenever they were drinking together, the two guys, I was just thinking, why don't they just share? I mean, but then I was thinking to myself, could I share my wife with another man? That seems
for
insane.
Eternity,
yeah,
she could get like 20 years with one guy,
right?
Then get 20 years with you. It's not like she gonna
or
die.
like weekdays, your weekends, like paternity or
she's not gonna die. No
like
time
child
soon.
custody. Exactly, you can't die. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely was like a dilemma. I think that they kind of, I guess, played out just to make the full movie. I think it could have been a little bit the solution could have been a little bit quicker in reality.
You think so?
Like if I was in that scenario, I feel like I would have, like, it wouldn't have taken me that long to figure it out.
Yeah, you, right?
Yeah.
But you got to get into the head of women.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out, man, what do women really want?
Right. I mean, it's like the day old. I mean, it's super, I guess, stereotypical of like looks versus the funny guy.
That's what you thought it was?
It's kind of that, but also, I mean, just between the two guys, that's basically it. It's like one guy's like the smoke show guy, super nice, very tough, rugged, died in a war. And then the other guy's like, he cracks jokes and he's funny and he's fun to be around. But in reality, like if I was in her scenario, I would easily choose the second husband.
Yeah.
Easily.
Same.
I mean, you have 65 years married to them.
Saying, bro.
You have children with the guy.
You have children with them, bro.
So easy. I mean, you have like nothing to talk about with the first guy.
The dilemma didn't seem that like difficult for me.
Me personally.
But if I had to put myself in Joanne's shoes, I almost feel like she feels guilty for not choosing Luke.
Yeah, because he waited that long.
Yeah, he waited, 67 years?
Imagine that. Imagine you're him. You waited 67 years to finally be with her. You find out that she's married to some dude that you bartended. And then in the end, she tricks you. Not tricks you, but like she gives you false hope that she chooses you. And then immediately is like, I don't know how much time passed, but it was basically like, you're not the one. I made the wrong choice.
Like a few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks or whatever it was. It was like, man, that's got to be tough.
But also, put yourself in Larry's shoes.
Yeah.
Imagine you've been married to a woman for 65 years.
And she chooses the first guy.
She dies, right? And she chooses a guy she was married to in her 20s for what? Maybe like 5 years?
I think it was less. I think I think she said that it was a year. They were married for 1 year. He went off to the war and died. I could be wrong, but I thought that she said it was literally 1 year that they were married for.
Yeah. So I almost thought that this wasn't as much of a dilemma as the movie
Yeah.
made it out to be.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the symbolism because I believe that they represent different things.
Yeah.
Larry represents life, ups and downs.
Right. The full aspect of life.
The full experience.
Yes.
Luke is just a fantasy. He's heaven in a symbolic sense.
Yeah.
All good.
Right.
But that shit gets
Mr.
boring
Perfect.
quick,
And then
you
they
know.
say all the time he's perfect. But
Yeah.
I guess this brings up a good question too of, do you think that this movie's description of eternity or the afterlife is more so comforting, or is it depressing? Like, if you knew that if this was the actual afterlife, would you see it as depressing or comforting?
Honestly, I think I would see it as comforting. Like, the only bad afterlife for me is either what they describe in the movie as the void
Right.
or hell. I think what's probably actually most plausible is just nothingness forever.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
not
yeah.
even knowing I exist. But being sentient and just seeing nothingness for eternity,
Yeah.
that would be bad. Also, being punished for eternity would be bad.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like a life of perfection, just all good, would also be bad.
Do you
You
think
know.
that what this is? Because I got the impression that it's not all good. It's not all perfect. Because if it was, she would have been happy.
Yeah.
See, I kind of took a different side of it. I see it more as depressing. Like, I was thinking about it. I was like, this would be pretty depressing if that was what the afterlife was.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the ACs or the afterlife coordinators
Yeah,
are selling all these people this dream that
it's perfect.
they can choose their fantasy world and they'll love it forever.
Exactly.
But
you
some of
can't
them
switch.
fall out of love with it. You can't
Exactly.
love one thing forever.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I
perfection is
mean-
boring.
To be honest, if I had Domino's every day, I don't think I'd ever get tired of it. I love
Real
that
shit.
place. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's my
I
go-to.
think I could eat some Chick-fil-A every day too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's some things in life where if I had it every day, I'd probably be all right.
I could eat it every day, but I don't think I could eat it for every meal of every day.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every waking moment is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this eternity is.
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of live the life that you picked and you can't
You
change it.
can't change it. That's the worst part, is that you can't change it, and you can't like actually be with, like, it would have been better if it was like, there's this American Dad episode, and it's basically like everybody has a hotel room, and in your room you get to just choose whatever you want. And so like it's almost like AI versions of your family. Like, so he doesn't have to necessarily like be with his actual family that also died. He could just choose the door and he lived his regular life with his family. I think that would have been better, because then you could just be with everybody. You could just like live normal life again. But this movie, you have to like go with people that also chose the same resort package, basically.
Yeah.
And so there's some people like Joanne will never see her aunt again,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. But I mean, also in the religious sense, if one of your family members went to hell,
Yeah.
theoretically, you'd never see them again either.
Yeah, I thought about that. And that's, yeah, I mean, I thought about that too. And that's, it's a good, I mean, that's kept me awake a lot at night, honestly, thinking about that, of just different people, like, you might not see them again in the afterlife, depending on what's real, what religion's real, who's in heaven, who's in hell.
I agree. But I think it brings up an interesting question that I want to ask. Do you think Joanne will be happy with the decision she made at the end of the movie? Or will she eventually regret that one too?
I think that I do think that she'll be happy, because yeah, I do think so. I don't think she's necessarily going to regret leaving Luke. I guess I'll put it that way. I don't think she's going to regret leaving Luke. I think maybe the worst case scenario is she might, regret the setting that she's in, because I don't know if this is what actually happened, but it seemed like they walked out into the new place that they were at, and it was like they were coughing. It was one of those ones that got put in the back burner is like one of those racist ones or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so she might regret the setting, even though I wouldn't personally. I thought it was a pretty good setting, but
You wouldn't regret a racist said?
well, I would for that one, but I don't think that was all it was, because they did say the ACs said that they're not going to make you go into a racist one. They're going to put you in a back burner one, but make sure it's not one of the racist, prejudiced ones. That's what the dude said in it. So, you know, I would probably. I mean, if it was racist against me, then obviously I'd regret it. But if they're not racist against me, then I don't think I would necessarily regret it. I mean, I guess I could regret it, but. You know, I'm not committing them, like, and I'm not committing any racist tendencies, and then I'm not receiving any. So it's like, it's almost like regular life at that point. There's racist people today. I don't regret living on Earth.
Yeah, but to know that that's the eternity you chose.
So I guess this brings up a really good question that I also wanted to ask is, do you think it matters more of the setting, the scenario, the resort package, or who you're with to you, if you had to choose? Because me personally, I'm thinking like the beach. I hate the beach. Like, I think it's like one of the most overrated things ever. And so I'm thinking, would I want to spend more with people that I love if they all chose the beach? Or would I rather just live in a setting that I really like and say, forget all my friends and family?
No, I don't think I could do that. Like, when I think about going on vacation, some of my most fun trips have been in the most unfun places.
Right.
You know, like that time we were in the middle of Michigan.
Right. And we walked to that random restaurant / like drive-through place.
We're in like a suburban place in Michigan.
Yeah, snowy. It's like below freezing.
No landmarks around.
Nothing.
But it's probably the most fun trip I've ever been on.
Easily. Like, definitely top tier. Because it was just so much fun with the people we were with. So I agree. I definitely think it's more so who you're with, not where you're at.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, man, like, I could live an eternity with the people I love. I could live an eternity of my life right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Who in your mind, who in your mind can you think of right now where you would really want them to be in your eternity? And then, you know, if you're up to it, name maybe a person you know that you would most want to avoid, right? You know, an eternity with.
Like, personally?
It could either be personal. You know, maybe we shouldn't do personally. That probably would mess things up, maybe. But maybe like a famous person. Like, who famous would you least like to spend an eternity with? Like anyone you could think of.
Spend an eternity with, man, one person, probably my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just...
For the one you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, that's just a person that I can hang out with all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. Same thing, like my dad. My dog, maybe if I could bring my dog, something like that. You know?
And dogs don't talk back or argue or none of that shit. You know? But
why can't find it?
One person I wouldn't bring, I would hate to be a part of my reality.
Yeah, I can think of one.
Our personal sitting president.
Oh, true. I mean,
Donald Trump.
I don't think I would necessarily choose him. He's pretty funny still. At the end of the day, he's still pretty funny. Whereas, like, I don't know. I'm thinking of like, I don't know, maybe like The Rock.
The Rock? You hate The Rock that
I don't
much?
think I hate The Rock. He's just kind of like a little bit pretentious, a little bit annoying.
Oh, yeah,
he's not even funny. He's just kind of like a little corny.
Trump, I wouldn't say that Trump is like funny though. He's just stupid. He's stupid enough for you to laugh at.
He's laugh at, which is fine. I could do that.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
But he's not like comedian funny.
No, I wouldn't say comedian funny.
I wouldn't. He's not like stand up funny.
Yeah, he's just like he just the stuff he says is so rambunctious, so wild that you just can't help but laugh at.
Real shit. I agree. I do have an interesting question for you though.
Yeah.
Right. So you know how in the movie your form in the afterlife is the time that you were most happiest. If you were in Joanne's exact situation, but your spouse of 65 years returned as a child, would Would you pick them or like?
That's a good question. That's a great question, actually. If they came back as a child, wow. Wow.
What you doing, man?
That could get me in trouble. I ain't gonna lie. That could get me.
Come on, man, you're in the hot seat.
That could get me in trouble, but man, that's a good question because I'm just trying to think of the implications of this. Like okay, so there's a few scenarios, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's say if I choose to go with her, right? I choose to go with her to the eternity. My two options is to either turn into Jeffrey Epstein or basically become a parent to my wife.
But you can't really
I would
date her.
I would have to literally be like a father figure, like a parent figure.
Yeah.
Or I would just have to dip. And at that point, honestly,
5 years of marriage, man. That's all you know.
yeah, I mean, the thing is that 65 years of marriage, you have so much life lore to talk about. But also on the other end, you could think, okay, you could do that. Or you could not have bad optics and maybe just go to a different afterlife and flirt with somebody over there. Maybe make a new connection.
True.
You could just do that. That's what I thought about
true.
too. I was like, man, I could just meet somebody else maybe.
But I do think that this movie makes a point to show that their final form is just a physical form. Like Joanne, in her mind, is still an old lady.
Right.
You know, she's surprised that she can squat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess you could just reminisce, but you can't do what Luke and Joanne were doing.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I can't bring my child form wife into bed and take.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
I think that's probably crossing a few lines.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but is it? I mean, it is. It is. But I mean, it's like, dang.
It's an interesting question because it's your wife.
It's your wife of 65 years.
She's just in a form of a child because that was her at her happiest.
Yeah. Man, that is a great question. And I don't have an answer. I mean, I think I'd end up just choosing maybe a different one. It'd probably end up being too weird for me.
Yeah.
Even though there's like no police there's no police in the afterlife. But still, just like, could I live with myself?
Into the void.
True, but that's because he left the door.
Yeah. I mean, like, wouldn't you consider those guys like police though?
Kind of, yeah. But I don't think they didn't bring that up. Like, they didn't bring up like, oh, you can't do anything in your own reality. Especially because you can't kill people. You can't die.
Right, yeah.
So it's like,
true.
how much crime can you really commit? Are
I
they
didn't see any
watching that?
money. You know, you can't steal.
It's probably unlimited food. It's probably
Yeah.
unlimited everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't necessarily know my answer to that. I'd have to probably be in that scenario to really answer that, but it's bad optics for sure. It's 100% bad optics.
For sure. Yeah.
What would you do?
Man, I think I would just have to go to the reality with them.
Yeah.
But like you said, I wouldn't date them. I would just,
It's almost just like a reminiscing thing.
Yeah.
It's just somebody that you've known forever. And hopefully, later on, you'd be able to have your kids with you maybe. And then maybe it's just not so weird to where like, okay, it's like our whole family scenario.
Yeah.
It's just a family dynamic instead of you like one-on-one with your child form wife.
Yeah.
It's probably.
That is pretty weird.
Yeah. I never even thought about that. I guess what if you died today? How old do you think you would be? Like, when do you think you were the happiest?
My form?
Yeah.
My form would be probably like 20. COVID.
That was a good time.
COVID.
Yeah. That was a good time.
the best time, bro.
Yeah.
Like, all I did during COVID was play basketball because everybody in my neighborhood was out of work.
Yeah.
So we just had like a basketball goal
Every day. Every day.
Hooped from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, bro.
Yeah, I remember COVID was like the most freedom, and looking back on it, it was really fun, honestly.
It was fun, bro. Like, you could go to the park and nobody was there.
Yeah. You could hang out all the time. Like, every day.
Yeah.
Like nobody had jobs, nobody had anything. I think I would probably be much younger though. I think probably like my happiest time was like middle school or something like that. Probably.
Think so?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably like mine because there's no responsibilities. Like you would just go to school, you would play kickball all the time, dodgeball all the time. You'd play sports. You had I had basketball, baseball, etc. In the summertime, you had it off, and all I would do is play video games with my friends all day, every day. That's probably like my happiest time. Just no responsibilities.
So what does your eternity look like?
My eternity, I definitely think I'd probably be closer to Luke in his. I like the nature. I like the wooded area, a log cabin with a lake, something like that maybe. I think that's probably what mine would be. But if I could they kind of seemed more like their eternities that they were able to choose were super realistic. Whereas if I could just choose anything, it would be like, I'd want to have powers. Like I'd want to be like a superhero and be in Avatar universe or Avengers universe and be Spider-Man or be a superhero.
For eternity, being Spider-Man forever would
Yeah.
that'd be hell, man.
Yeah, but I find comfort to be pretty boring. And so if I had a task to do, I can't die. In this scenario, I can't die, but I'd just be able to fight crime, swing from webs.
That is very true.
If I can't die.
What makes being a superhero a hassle is like seeing all the people around you die
Right.
and being in pain all the time.
Yeah.
But I guess you don't have that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean,
You
it
have to,
kind of creates a different dilemma of okay, well then why are you fighting crime in this world?
That's very true.
You probably wouldn't be doing that. But,
That's
how
very
about
true. You
this?
just
How
want
about
the powers, huh?
Yeah, I just want to be able to swing from trees. Really, that's all. I just want to be able to swing, shoot webs out of my wrists, or that'd be
I
cool.
get you.
Bend air or something like that. Avatar style, or maybe have a wand, Harry Potter style.
I get
Be a
you.
little bit more. Be a little bit more than regular life, because that's what it was. It was like regular life for them. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
depressing.
very true. So, I mean, let's talk about the meaning of the movie more. What did you walk away from the movie believing the meaning was? What did you think this movie was trying to say?
Well, I think it talks. I think what it talks about is what is love, and what is that's probably what Joanne goes through. Is what is love to her? Is love a moment with her first husband, or is it a compilation of all the moments, all the ups, all the downs of her second husband?
Yeah.
So I think that's really what it was getting at, is what is love? That's probably what I would say is it. What would you say?
I would say it's what makes a eternity fulfilling.
That's
You know,
that's
like,
definitely
I
good.
seen Larry and Luke as symbols of life.
Yeah.
Where Luke is your theoretical heaven, as I mentioned, and Larry is your life with ups and downs. Nobody
Regular
wants to get
life.
on a roller coaster
Right.
with no drops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Luke, he's cool,
He's just
but
too perfect.
he's too perfect.
He doesn't really
and
have a personality.
He's just a moment.
Yeah.
He's just nostalgia.
Yeah.
He's like that time we went to that board game place in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And we decided to play Candyland.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we realized that shit was boring as
Yeah.
hell.
It lasted
As a
5 minutes.
As
Yeah.
a kid, that shit was fun.
Right.
But
Well, you get a
we
little
ain't
older.
a kid no more.
No.
And I think that's what Joanne experienced with Luke.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I was my happiest with Luke, maybe.
Right. Or the honeymoon phase where it's oh, you feel giddy, you feel, butterflies in your stomach, your first love. But in
Yeah.
reality, it wasn't the second husband. You didn't have kids. You didn't live an entire life, all the ups and downs with them.
You'd rather a fulfilling life. Luke is just nostalgia, but there's no memories there. Like she reminisces on getting married, having kids, right?
Right.
She can't talk about any of that with Luke. She didn't do that with him.
And when she did, he hated it.
Yeah.
And I think that was another point of this movie is being able to forget the past. They're just, none of them are able to forget the past and move forward.
You
All
think
of
so?
them are stuck in the past, and they instead of trying to build something new or move forward, they're just trying to, live in the past, really. That's what I think that most of them were on.
Well, honestly, I feel like the movie wraps up the story arcs pretty well on that, right? Because you have Joanne, and I think Joanne's major character flaw is that she's too selfless.
Yeah.
Like, she sends herself into a depression trying to please both of these guys.
Yeah.
One of which was going to leave to his own eternity.
Yeah.
And just
Hope that she chose.
that she chose him. You
Yeah.
know, I think he was really confident that she would, and he didn't see the dilemma.
Right.
But that's kind of selfish of him.
Maybe,
You
yeah.
know,
Because he just chose the beach.
Yeah.
And
But I think she mentioned that she didn't like the beach.
well, he mentioned that. He was like, I want to go to the beach, and I know she won't like it, but...
Yeah.
So it really was a selfish
He's
thing.
extremely selfish, and
Yeah.
that's a lesson he has to learn. But Joanne has to become more like him. She has to become more selfish.
Yeah. Well, she
Because-
did in the middle.
Yeah. She ends up having to tell Luke, this ain't what I want.
Right.
You know, and it kind of hurts his feelings, but
Yeah.
she has to get the eternity she wants.
Yeah. And she really, he saw it coming too. He mentioned that he had to bite his tongue every time she went to the Hall of Memories or whatever it was called.
Yeah. The archives.
Right.
Yeah. And with Larry has to learn to be less selfish. Right? Because I think the defining moment for him is when he realizes that Joanne's hair is long and
That-
this is the form where she was happiest,
And it was
that
never with him.
Luke.
Yeah.
You know, and he goes and tells Joanne, I won't be happy unless you are. But that's kind of not his take from the
Right.
beginning. He's willing to go to the beach knowing that she hates the beach.
Yeah.
You know, but by the end of the movie, he learns his lesson. He wraps it up. You know, his character arc is wrapped up nicely, and he becomes a more selfless person.
Right.
You know, and I think that Luke also has a lesson to learn. Luke is the character who has to learn to move on because
Yeah.
he hasn't had a life. He died young, and then he waited 67 years for Joanne.
Yeah.
You know, instead of choosing an eternity that fits him. And then Joanne finally gets there. He spends, maybe a week with her, and then he loses her. You know, but I think Luke will be all right, you know, because
Yeah.
he just has to learn to move on. I don't think that,
He's already lived 67 years without her.
yeah.
Well, that's another eternity,
You know, he gotta move on.
And also, he's perfect. He can find somebody else in the eternity that he's in, probably.
Yeah.
He's going to find no problem whatsoever
Yeah.
finding somebody else. We never got to see that.
I think he feels an obligation to Joanne, though, because she's his only wife.
That, and also it's like, that just goes with his personality and like the stuff that he chose to do. He saw a responsibility to join the military, to fight for his country. It's like his entire thing, his entire persona is just responsibility.
Yeah.
Whatever
see
he
that.
thinks is the most responsible thing to do. It's to wait for his wife. It's the most manly, chivalrous thing is, waiting 67 years for your wife to finally die and, spend the rest of her life together.
Yeah.
Little did he know. Little did he know that the other
She
dude.
already got married, man.
Yeah. And she didn't even wait long.
Yeah.
I think she said like 2-3 years or something like that. She got married after.
I think it's like
Or-
it's 2 years because
That she found.
She's been with Larry for 65 years.
Yeah.
And he's been waiting for 67.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't know if they were married at that point or if it was like she met Larry 2 years after. So they've been with each other since then, but I don't know if they were married that long.
Yeah.
I don't think they specified whether or not. I do think in the beginning I was a little shaky on it because it was like kind of setting it up for a little bit corny. Like when the old couple showed up, when Larry and Joanne showed up to the birthday party or what was it? Was it a child thing?
Gender reveal.
Gender reveal. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah. And, they're standing out there and they're like, we gotta tell them at some point. And I thought, that's good. If they just said that, it leaves you questioning, what do they have to tell them? What's this? But then they show like a 10-second still frame almost of her with her IV in her arm. And I'm thinking, okay, like this is ridiculous. Like you leave nothing to guess to the audience. So I was a little scared at that moment, but it quickly got good.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know what it was about walking into it.
Okay. Yeah.
I had no
for me,
idea.
I was like, I knew the premise of the movie, so that wasn't big for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried not to like look into anything. I literally just look at if it's like reviewed good, audience score, critic score, see if it's good, look at the time, under 2 hours, we're in.
Look at the time.
Yeah. If it's over 2 hours, we can find something else to see.
Yeah. So what you thinking about Avatar then? We not seeing Avatar?
No, absolutely not.
We gotta see Avatar, bro.
mean-
It's probably gonna be the biggest movie of the year, bro.
Yeah, I guess I'll see it.
We gotta see
I'm just, okay, if anybody watching, just know I'm probably going to be a little down on the movie. That's all.
it. Damn, you're gonna be down on it just because it's long? I mean, the Batman was long.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
Still pretty good.
I just think that, they'd have to step things up. And I just don't think that they do, because based off the trailer, they're just reusing the exact same plot as they did in the first two movies.
We shall
It's like
see.
the exact same thing. It's like, okay, they come, they got a tyrannical human element, and they're coming to take over and conquer over this new world. And then you got the other tribe that they're low-key in beef with. And then that's it. That's like all 3 movies so far.
Yeah.
And it's 3 hours. And you're like, come on. Like, seriously? 3 hours?
I get you.
You couldn't wrap this up in 2?
Yeah. They gotta get the spectacle in, man. That's how they make the money,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do
guess.
have some gripes about this movie, and after I give my gripes, I'll give my score.
Okay. What's your gripes
out of
about this
10.
movie?
I think my biggest one is I think there's a major plot hole in this movie.
What's that?
It's that Luke has been waiting for Joanne for 67 years. And it takes Joanne a week in Luke's eternity to realize that she doesn't want to be with him. Why doesn't she just figure that out in the purgatory like state before committing to an eternity? Is there any specific reason she has to?
I think there is, and I think it's to do with, it's like overstimulation. She's overstimulated with this entire scenario, and like she has to choose between the two, and she's just trying to think of like the past. Like, oh, what was it like 67 years ago whenever I was with them? That's like, but if you like live with somebody for a week, it's like that scenario where, like hanging out with some of your friends is really cool, but try living with them for a year. A lot of friends end up falling off because they don't like their living situation.
But think of it like this, like using your example.
Yeah.
Would you rather like go on vacation with a friend that you're thinking about moving in with? Or just move in with them and then figure out that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what Joanne does. Like, she just commits to an eternity when she can figure out that she won't like an eternity with Luke in the purgatory like state.
But they didn't give her that opportunity because they were just kept bombarding her. Like both of them, to the point where she couldn't get any alone time with either of them. It's not like they can really go anywhere.
Right, yeah. So you think she just feels pressured to make a decision?
It's too much, and there's a time limit. You have 1 week, or else you get booted to the downstairs rooms, and you have to find a job.
Man, I don't know about you, man, but I would have waited it out before I make a decision on my eternity. And then, like, my only alternative is I can't escape, but if I get caught, I get thrown into the void.
To be honest, to go back to that point though, when you said that that's probably the worst case scenario, I think that the void is a better case scenario than any eternity that they could have chosen. I think that being bored is worse in your perfect eternity. Becoming bored is worse than not feeling anything at all.
What's more boring than being in a state of nothingness forever?
But I don't think you could perceive it. So you would just cease to exist.
No, you'll perceive it. I think they make that point that
I don't think so.
you'll see it.
Well, you don't see anything. It's
You just be in a
total.
dormant state.
You
It's
just
like,
be in pitch black,
yeah.
no feeling, no cold, no warmth, nothing.
It's like being in one of those like float pods that we did that time, like that for eternity.
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point though you would just lose it. You would be lost in the sauce. You'd become part of the well of souls. You know.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I think that best case scenario, the afterlife, we just like the plug gets pulled.
That's probably best case.
Best case scenario, the plug gets pulled.
Yeah.
You know, but because honestly, any scenario that you could think of, I mean, you can't have any fun if it's always perfect. You can't have any ups and downs.
I think Joanne figures that out too.
Yeah.
You know, she's willing to risk eternity in the void to escape a perfect reality.
Yeah, pretty much. And she'd rather go to a undesirable location that's been closed off to everybody else if it means that she's with Larry.
Yeah.
You know?
That's very true. I am going to give this movie out of 10 a 7.5.
That's exactly what I was going to give too. A 7.5.
Yeah.
I think that it's a good movie, a really exciting movie to talk about. But as far as like actually just like statistically or objectively how good the movie is, there's definitely a lot of cornier moments and some poor writing decisions overall. But it's still a really good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it.
It's really good. I liked it. You know, it's probably the most creative movie of this year.
Yeah, it reminds me, it's definitely nowhere near as good as Origin, but it strikes the same exact chord to where it like gets me excited to think about it, talk about it. You know, it's a deeper movie. It's super lighthearted, rom-com all the way, but it still deals with like a really interesting topic.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it a lot, man.
Yeah.
But that's kind of all I have, man. So
Yeah,
I'll let you take us out.
Yeah, I think that's it. All right, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and leave a like or rating and drop your thoughts down in the comments below. If you're on YouTube, check the description. There's a link to all of our content. We have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, TikTok, and Instagram. And if you're just listening on audio, go ahead and search up our YouTube handle. It's the No Script Pod. With that being said, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace. I need some damn McDonald's or something.